So it's been 36 days since I stopped taking the mental health medicine, and this journey really started there. I have been sober from cocaine, Molly, ecstasy, pain pills, and stuff like that for 8 years now. But I feel like detoxing from the mental health medicine was kind of like the last wave into my sobriety. Because some of my mental health medicines two of them was Klonopin and Adderall, so I feel like they were not necessarily needed. So I'm using all natural approaches and stuff, there comes a bee, to try to deal with everything now. So I was documenting that, but through this, I figured out that my sobriety and me being sober for this long was kind of a big deal. And, and the way that I did it is kind of a big deal. And some of the things that I've came through in my life, or, maybe you've been through them or haven't been through them, or it might be something that you might go through one of these days. A big thing is when I was in prison, I found God. I really found Him, and I was trying to figure out, you go from wondering why all this stuff happens, or, and then you start remembering what you did to make these things happen, but then you realize, what can I do with them? I learned these lessons, surely it wasn't all for nothing. We don't go through hard times and other things like that in life, just for no reason. I really am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. So if just one person hears my story and, I don't even know, changes somehow, or it helps them in some way, I don't know how, but it could. I'll be happy. I'll be for something. I'm always telling my kids, my past and stuff that I've done and things not to do, and they are really well-rounded on the drug scene, so they know, what not to do and things that I've done, and the way that things happen after I've done the things and stuff that happened to me after I was on drugs and when I was coming off drugs, especially with my body. I don't know if you've seen any of my posts on Facebook, but you may see them in the future. But one of them is about anorexia. I developed anorexia, and it was not necessarily to be skinny, but there were some instances in my life that I couldn't afford to feed all of us. Then life gets hard. But I see all these encouraging stories about everybody after they've went through all the hardships and all the pain and, realizing everything in life that they've done. I just think that you need a story that's going to show you why they're going through it, Maybe I can be encouraging to somebody that's going through the same thing that I am, or has went through the same thing that I am, or will in the future, I don't know, but I know that I don't want to go out without trying to help somebody. I feel like that if just one person hears, then that's one person, The big thing that I tell a lot of people, and one of my biggest things that I will tell anybody, is it takes one time. It takes one time to change your life. You use a drug one time, you're addicted to it. You may or may not be, or you may or may not get addicted to it, but you also could die. That's a big thing now, especially with fentanyl going around. I haven't ever done fentanyl in the past, not willingly. I was drugged a couple times. We'll get into that way later on. Because this is going to be like a tell-all story. I'm going to change the names of some of the people so that it kind of protects them, and I'm going to leave some of the stuff, to where the people involved are not sent shockwaves through their life like it has been my whole life. I feel like that in the past, anybody and everybody around me, I have hurt in some way, shape, or form because of my actions. So I'm going to clear and let them all out, but I don't want to expose the people that I've done wrong to, if that makes sense to anybody. So if you do know anybody that I'm talking about, or, sorry, it was a bee, anybody that I'm talking about or something, please just keep that to yourself. But I don't think that anybody will, and they might, I don't know. But this is like to help somebody. It's not to bash anybody's name. Honestly, it's going to help me just as much as anybody else, because it's therapy for me, I get to tell my story, and, I feel like it's for a purpose. Like, especially here recently with detoxing from the mental health medication. I did it cold turkey, and that was a horrible idea. I'm going to tell you right now, it was a horrible idea. At first I had some support from my psychiatrist's office, but they switched doctors in between. Switched doctors in between while I was changing my medicine, because I have no idea why. I think the girl that I was seeing quit. It was a low income, doctor's office. I'm poor. I have Medicaid, so they really don't give a shit about you. Honestly, they're there to get their paycheck and go home. They don't care. And I lost contact with them. So my family doctors really carried me through this, but my legs have really suffered. There are some days that I can only walk part of the day. I was using a cane the other day, and I'm going to be 39 in 2 days. I shouldn't be like that. But also, I've put my body during active addiction and through a lot. I literally I was a dancer, and I guess I got really messed up one night, and I don't know what happened, but I had messed myself up on the pole really bad to where I was bruised from my ribs down, and I went to the hospital because I couldn't move, and they thought I had been beat. They thought that I was living in an abusive household or whatever, and I had been beat. So they kept coming there asking me, but I'm like, no, I did this to myself. So, there's a lot of stuff that we do to ourselves during addiction, and stuff that we don't, there's bees flying around me, guys, I'm sorry. So we don't really realize, and then nobody talks about that. Nobody's going to talk about how during recovery you have to eat a certain diet to get the vitamins and nutrition back in your body. They don't talk about the sickness. They don't talk about the days you spend in bed. They don't talk about the people that just want to come up to you and just, oh, it's a big bee. Oh, it's a big bee. People that just want to come up to you and, just give you hell for no reason at all. And that's a lot that I'm seeing in my life too, that I know that just because I can move forward from the past, a lot of people can't, and they can't deal with their shit, and I respect that. Not everybody's the same, and not everybody's going to really take the time to do the soul searching that this takes. It's not going to happen. I mean, I just now got a TV in my bedroom, and I don't even watch it, and that's been, I know, for at least 7 or 8 years that I haven't had a TV in my room where I watch it or anything. I really do a lot of inner work and stuff, and I mean, I don't know, you'll just have to follow my story and see. It's crazy. Life is crazy. I'm not successful now. I hope to be in the future, but I'm going through a lot of stuff that people go through every day, and when I get through it, you'll see that you can get through it too. And I don't know, I just hope I help somebody. So that's the point behind all this stuff. I'm not trying to become famous. I really could care less, and a lot of people are mad at me for doing this in my family because they feel like that I'm bashing them. But I'm not bashing nobody. I'm really bashing myself, if anything, because I'm telling everybody what I did, what I did to hurt them. So I don't know. I guess we're going to see how this goes. If I don't get stung by a bee today, we're going to see how this goes. And so, yeah, my story is about addiction. It's about recovery. It's about being homeless. It's about being in prison. It's about being in jail. It's about almost dying a few times. It's about being in an abusive relationship. I could go on, and that's another point. God made, you went through it, so let's use this. Let's use this and maybe help somebody else. So you guys follow my story. This is my first post to YouTube, and if it takes off, it takes off. If it don't, then oh well. Y'all stay sober, stay blessed. Reach out to me. I will always be available to talk when I can, and I hope you all have a great Monday. Bye.